welcome. But officially welcome everybody. Welcome to this Canada Specialist Program webinar. Our first presenter today is Joanne from Destination British Columbia. Joanne, please take it away.
Thanks, Charlie, and thanks everybody for joining. It's great to see you all on the chat. And I'm here to do another presentation, which I know if you've been watching Charlie's webinars, you've seen me a few times this year. So I'm trying to give you a bit of an update of things you might not know, and then I'll pass it over to the lovely ladies from British Columbia to talk about their areas and products. And also make sure you tune in 2 weeks' time. We have another British Columbia lineup, including Whistler and Vancouver. So a whole bunch of British Columbia packed action. So firstly, wanted to give you a really quick update on the Canadian border opening. I'm sure you are well aware and have read it in the media that as of September the 7th, all fully vaccinated people are welcome into Canada. Well, Australia and New Zealand does not have the border open for us to leave to go to Canada yet. Canada has the border open and is waiting for us to come just as soon as we can. So keep an eye out for information on that. And this will be our new normal. The rules and regulations around mask wearing, social distancing, et cetera, change constantly, and they're different per province in Canada. So British Columbia's corporate website and our consumer-facing website, hellobc.com, has a section called Know Before You Go. And so we're driving everybody to go to Know Before You Go on hellobc.com as a place to get the most up-to-date information. So we'll continue to update that as rules and regulations change, which can be every day and every week at the moment. So that's the best place for jumping on to learn what's going on. But probably the best information or the best update I've had this month, and I'm sure you have heard as well, is about the airlines. So we have an announcement from Qantas that they'll be resuming December 18th with their Sydney-Vancouver service, just 3 times a week on their 787-900 series. Now, a lot of you probably know that they did fly seasonal service in the winter only in past years. This service is intended to be year-round, and we hope at some point will grow from there. Of course, Air Canada has also got service. They've announced resuming their Sydney-Vancouver from December 17th, also 3 times a week on their 777. And I do understand that if you go to the GDS system in late March, you can also find Brisbane, Vancouver is online as well. So of course, all of these flights are subject to the Australian government opening the borders. And for those of our agents over in New Zealand, we haven't got any word yet from Air New Zealand on any services scheduled, but I'm sure more will come in 2022. So great news, it's a great start. I understand, they aren't the cheapest flights and they are opening around Christmas. But there are also other options to fly through the US for your clients as well. All right, on to the next one. And then I would just like to give you a bit of a cruise update. So for your information, Canada has had the cruise borders closed, or the water borders closed for the last 18 months. So from November 1st this year, which is in just about a month's time, Canada will open the waters and that cruise ban will no longer be in place. So it isn't really specifically relevant in the next few months for us because cruising to Alaska doesn't happen in the winter months. You'll see the first cruise from Vancouver up to Alaska on April 10th in 2022. And Victoria will also release a schedule later in the year, which will also start from April. Cruising is really important to both Vancouver and Victoria. We get 1.1 million passengers a year normally from Vancouver, 700,000 out of Victoria. And a lot of those cruise passengers are from Australia and New Zealand. The US is the #1 market, Australia is #2. So please keep sending your passengers our way. We love having you do pre and post stays around British Columbia, over to the Rockies on those Alaska cruises. So can't wait to see the cruisers back as well. Now, while we've been sitting at home, wondering what's going on around the world, some of our old favorites are still around in British Columbia. Just thought you'd like to know. So Rocky Mountaineer has been running some of the services this season and can't wait to have passengers back in the next year and years after. The ski industry can't wait to welcome back your clients. And I know all the ski resorts are just really eager to see the Aussies and the Kiwis back on the slopes. And of course, Whistler is no exception to that. And our wildlife is still out there and I think, frankly, enjoying their time alone in the forest. So we've got our spirit bears alive and well and being spotted this year by the Canadians taking holidays. Of course, we have grizzly bears, still black bears, the orca whales. And I know because I'm not in Canada at the moment, love hopping on some of the Instagram accounts of some of our favorite lodges. For example, Farewell Harbor Lodge and Night Inlet Lodge. If you check those out on Instagram, and I'll pop them in the chat in a minute, they are doing live cams of what's going on behind the scenes with that wildlife while we're not there. So have a check that out, or any of your clients who are eager wildlife fans, have them have a look as well, and you can see what's going on right now in Canada. Of course, all of our lodges are ready and waiting to welcome back Australian and New Zealand clients as well. So some of our luxury lodges like Sonora Resort, Nemo Bay, Clackwell Wilderness Lodge, as well as Tweedsmuir Lodge. Those and many more, Night Inlet, Farewell Harbor, Great Bear Lodge. Can't wait to have clients from Australia and New Zealand back visiting again. This one's Rockwater Secret Cove over on the Sunshine Coast. These are the glamping tents. And our Indigenous cultural product is also really growing within the province. So in the last 18 months, we've had a lot of time to focus on new product development and how to do things more sustainable, more responsible, and our Indigenous product is accelerating. So what's new in the province? I'll save all the real detailed stuff for the cities to tell you about what's new in their parts of the world. But one of the things we have is a new Indigenous BC app. So it's a trip planner specific to those products, from the traditional canoeing trips, from the traditional dancing, storytelling, traditional foods. It's all on this app. So it's a really great place to go to look for some new and interesting product for clients that want that sort of experience. Sea to Sky Gondola, which is halfway between Vancouver and Whistler, has reopened this season. They were shut down for a number of months throughout the winter, and they're back opened and waiting for your guests to come and arrive and experience their product. Golden Skybridge is a new product opened this year in Golden, which is over on the Trans-Canada Highway, the #1 highway on the way to the Rockies. So not too far from Lake Louise and Banff. And people that have done it tell me it's amazing. So check that out if you've got clients over on the east side of British Columbia. And this one, I just spotted one of my colleagues doing a Canada Fam this week, and she just posted on Facebook today. And I thought, wow, where is that place? And I realized it was Clackwell Wilderness Resort, which is on the Sunshine Coast, just an hour out of Vancouver. So it's another Indigenous-owned lodge running things like grizzly bear tours, has an Indigenous cultural program as well. And the photos I saw today were amazing, from the way the rooms look, the food, and the grizzly bear experience. So I definitely have this on my list for my next FAM that I'm hosting, whenever that will be in British Columbia. And another presentation we had just recently for the team at British Columbia was from Rockwater Adventures, who you may know of, who have been doing eco tours in Vancouver for quite some time. They've expanded their program. They're really focused on the ecotourism, the sustainability, well-being, Indigenous experience. Now they do day and multi-day trips. They go elsewhere outside of Vancouver as well as in Vancouver. So check out rockwateradventures.com for more on some of their products for new ideas for the future. And of course, we have plenty of self-guided trails, and I know I've spoken about these on other webinars I've done, so I'll just quickly cruise through them. The BC Ale Trail is a great experience for your clients that are into craft beer tasting. So lots of different places around the province that are part of the BC Ale Trail. So there's a whole website on that, and lots of cool places to check out as well. This is one of my favorites. I haven't done it yet, but every time I see these photos, all I want is dumplings. So the Dumpling Trail is in Richmond, which is outside of Vancouver, near Vancouver Airport. And again, my colleagues who have done these visits quite a few times just rave about how yummy the food is. The Nanaimo Bar Trail, we probably have to ask Chelsea and Tracy about this because they live on Vancouver Island. So this is for the dessert lovers amongst us. So another cool trail that's been developed for desserts on Vancouver Island. And finally, we've got the BC Bird Trail for the bird lovers amongst us. So again, just another popular thing to do and places to do it. And there's a whole website related to this subject. As I mentioned at the start, hellobc.com, the know before you go section, is the very best place to direct your clients and for yourselves to find out what's the latest going on for BC specifically, related to COVID, testing, lockdowns, etc. Not lockdowns, sorry, mask wearing, etc. And we've also got a corporate site that's got a lot of information on it. And of course, Destination Canada as well is keeping their site up to date. I did get asked in the last presentation about transportation for clients coming across the border. So it's really important to know right now, as of today, you can cross from the US into Canada on the land border, but you cannot cross from Canada back into the US on the land border. So if you had a client flying tomorrow, they could get into Canada by air and they can get back into the US by air. They can also go by other transportation like ferry, but they can't go by car. They couldn't rent a car. And obviously that will change at some point, but at this point, we don't have a timeline on that. So I was asked about that in the last session. I thought I'd just bring that up. Lots more information again on our corporate site. Feel free to sign up for the corporate newsletter and I will send out some follow-up with more details. And that's it for me. I'll pass it back to Charlie. Thank you.